my name's Trixie and welcome to Saturday Snacktime. Today I'm going to show you a super yummy and easy recipe that just happens to be really, really good for you. This is dairy-free and nut-free pesto with pasta and red peppers. This recipe is one of my all-time favorites because it happens to have some really healthy ingredients that you could even grow in the garden yourself in your own backyard. I got this recipe from this amazing allergy-free cookbook called Everyone's Welcome by Amanda Orlando. This is one of my favorite cookbooks ever because it has a bunch of allergy-free recipes that you would never even know are free of allergens. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to make the pesto. But first, let's see what we need. First, we will need kale. Kale is super duper healthy for you. This is what a kale leaf looks like. Normally, it will be much bigger, about this big, but today I chose to get pre-shredded kale because I thought it would be easier to show you. But what you're gonna do if you get normal kale from the store or from your garden is that there will be a big piece, and in the middle, I don't know if you can see, but there'll be a big stem. And so what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna ask an adult to help you either peel or cut off the leaves off of the middle stem, and then you're gonna throw away the middle stem and keep the leaves. Okay, so next we have basil. Basil is amazing, and as you can see, it has this big leaf. Look, it's almost the size of my face. I can fit in there. Okay, so basil is an herb. An herb is something that's like a vegetable, but it's just not really, you wouldn't just eat it straight. You add it to other meals so that it adds some cool flavor. And basil, I'm actually growing some basil in my garden right now, but there wasn't enough for this, so I got this basil from the grocery store. But basil has an incredible scent, and it also adds really, really yummy, yummy flavors into your meals. Okay, next up, we have garlic. Oh, garlic is so good. I literally add garlic into every single meal I make. So garlic is also very, very healthy for you. And the thing is, I will show you this later, but you never are gonna use this whole thing. This is actually the peel of the garlic. So when you use garlic, you are going to use a garlic clove. A garlic clove is going to be one of these little things. Here, I'll break it off to show you. So you're gonna take the peel off, and this is one garlic clove, and that's actually a lot to use in one recipe. So I'll show you how to do that later. So then we have a lemon. You guys probably know what a lemon is. I mean, I love lemons, and I will tell you that I actually got this very lemon from my own lemon tree in the backyard, which is so cool because I grew that. And like, you can totally grow it yourself too. So lemon adds a really yummy, yummy, tangy flavor to things like pasta or desserts. And it's going to add, we're just gonna use half the lemon today, half the lemon juice, and it's gonna add some really great flavor to this pesto. Okay, and then last but not least, we have olive oil. Okay, so olive oil actually comes from olives. And olive oil is a great thing that you can add into a lot of different meals. I add olive oil into almost all the meals that I cook because it has a distinct flavor and it adds a lot. Okay, so now you have all the ingredients that we are going to make this pesto with. Okay, so now has come the time when we are finally going to actually make the pesto. Okay, so we're going to start with 2 cups fresh basil leaves. And I actually, to make it safer, you don't actually have to use a knife to cut the basil. I just took the basil leaf, and it doesn't even matter how small. You just don't want the whole basil leaf. You can just rip with your fingers it into little pieces, and that will be good enough. And so then we're just going to, we have our blender here. We are just going to pour it into the blender. Oh, I dropped a piece. Okay, so we're just gonna pour it into the blender, and then we will look at the kale. Okay, so we're gonna stuff it down because we don't want it to be all the way to the top right now. So next we're going to do the kale. So we need 1 cup of the kale, and if you removed all the stems and the veins like I talked about before, we are good to go. So we will just measure it in this cup. And yes, we have 1 cup of kale. So then we will put this in the blender too. And then stuff it down more. Okay, next we are going to use the 1/2 lemon juice. So I actually have this really cool handy thing. I think it's just called a lemon squeezer, but it makes it so that when you squeeze the lemon juice, the seeds don't come out, so the seeds don't get in your meal. So what we're gonna do is we'll just put that in there, and then we'll close it, and we'll just squeeze the lemon juice right into the blender. Okay, see, look at that. That's crazy. All the juice just came right out. Okay, and then next we are going to do the garlic. Okay, let me just throw this out. Okay, so like I said before, this is called 1 clove of garlic. So what we're gonna do is we're actually just going to take our knife and cut it into little pieces. And I wanted to share with you guys something really, really fun, but I promise you don't do this at home if you don't have one of these special knives. So this is a kid-friendly knife that I have had ever since I was a little kid. And here, if I get close to the camera, I'll show you. It actually looks like a dog. You see, there's the eye, and then you got the little tail here. And the thing about this knife is it's sharp enough to cut any type of vegetable, but it's not sharp enough to cut you. So I promise I'll be okay. So look, if I even just take my finger and go like this, I'm totally fine, and it doesn't hurt and doesn't cut me. But do not do this with any other knife. Unless you have one of these special knives, do not do this. And I will say, if you have only normal knives, make sure that your parent or an adult is doing the cutting for you. But then you can do everything else. We just have to stay safe. Okay, so like I said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the garlic into little pieces, little slices, boop, boop. I don't know what that noise is. I guess it makes it fun if you do little sound effects while cutting. Here, you can do it with me. Boop, boop. Okay, so we did it. I'm being weird enough, I get it. Okay, so we got the garlic then, and we're just going to, again, put it right in the blender here. Okay, let me just put everything in there. And then the last couple things, oh, the olive oil, yes, okay. So we are going to do 1/3 cup of olive oil. So you get your measuring cup, and if you have one of your special Healthy Kid cups that you can get with the link on Mighty Networks, that has a measuring cup in it. So you can actually make this recipe with the Healthy Kid cup. So we're going to do 1/3 cup olive oil. There we go. And we are going to put this right in the blender. Okay, and then last but not least, we're going to put some salt and some pepper. And it doesn't really matter how much, you're just going to put to your liking. So we're going to get the pepper here, and we're just gonna put in a little bit. There we go, that's enough. And then we are going to get the salt, which is right over here. Someone didn't put back the salt where it's supposed to be, so I had to walk off to get it. Okay, so we're gonna put the salt in. There we go, that's enough. Okay, so I am going to go blend all this yumminess together, and when you see me next, the pesto will be done. Okay, now we have our pesto. Oh my gosh, it looks so good, you guys. Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention is that all of the kale and basil might not blend like as fast as everything else. So what we're gonna wanna do is that we might have to stop the blender a couple times and then just spoon it like this and then blend it more so that it can all get very soupy into a consistency that looks like this. Okay, so there you have it. We have our pesto. This is an orange bell pepper. So like I said, bell peppers actually make a really, really good add to pasta. And what we're gonna do today is we are going to cut up this bell pepper into little strips, and then we are going to saute it in 1 tablespoon of olive oil right here. And saute basically means that you can make this healthy vegetable taste almost like French fries. Okay, well, not exactly like French fries, but by sauteing it in here, you'll get it to be super crispy and yummy. And so it won't even taste like a bitter vegetable. Okay, so what we're gonna do is here I have chopped up a bunch of yellow, red, and orange bell peppers. In the recipe, it actually calls for 2 large bell peppers, but I used tiny ones. So you're just gonna wanna cut them to about this size. And then you are going to wanna put them here with the 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And then we are gonna saute it on low to medium heat, okay? And we are going to make sure that they don't burn. There's not really a specific time because it's really how long you would want to saute them. But yeah, so just make sure that you get them all nice and crispy, and yeah. Okay, so now we have all of the ingredients. We have the 3 P's: pasta, peppers, and pesto. Okay, so we're gonna add the sauteed peppers first. And then we are going to mix that up. Mix it up real good. Okay, and then we're gonna pour the pesto in. Make sure to get all of it out of the blender so you don't waste a single teaspoon. And now we're gonna mix this up. Oh, it's sticking together. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. My gosh. Oh my goodness. And there you have it. This is our nut-free and dairy-free and allergy-free pesto for Saturday snack time. Okay, so I am starving, and this is my sister, Ruby. I know I have a dog sister. You know, you should too. Anyway, Ruby is also hungry, so I'm gonna give her this red pepper because she likes it too. Yummy. I am starving. Bye!